Would I be the arsehole if I spend my son's college money? I, 55F, want to spend my son, 16M's money I had been saving up for college. Our household makes much less than the average household income and I want to start saving up now. I created a separate bank account and put money for college in. I recently found out I need a surgery if I don't want many back problems in the future. I don't need it to survive, but I will experience a lot of back pain without it. It is somewhat expensive, but like I said, we make lower income. I want to use money from my son's college money bank account for this. That bank account has the most money in it, and if we don't use it, I probably won't get the surgery due to costs. My son doesn't want this because it means less money for college. So, WIBTA.
TBH, the only asshole here is the US.
Ugh. I guess medical health is more important than education, so you and your son are not the asshole, but your country's healthcare system is. But I mean, if your son knows about the money, at the same time, I'm not going to blame him for resenting that either. I'm sorry life is tough for you.
If I were your child, I would want you to get that surgery. A few more thousand in loans is worth it to have a healthy mom around as long as possible, especially one who cares for you enough to start a college fund while living in a low-income family. In an ideal world, you wouldn't have to choose, but in this situation, not the asshole for putting your health before his secondary education. You deserve to not be living life in pain more than anyone deserves money to go to college. As a college student with student loans from a low-income family, get that surgery.
Welcome to the United States of America. A glorious country that forces families to sacrifice their children's future to pay for their medical expenses. Nah. Except the people that came up with our shitty healthcare and secondary education system, and the people that perpetuate these broken systems for personal gain.
Not the asshole. Does the college fund pay for the surgery in full?
Holy shit. You had me in the first half NGL. But if you need it, then you have to do it.
The money does not belong to your son until you give it to him. Until then, you are the de facto owner of the funds. It actually makes more sense to use the money for your physical health than your kid's college ed. He has to get into college first. Prior to that, you need your health concerns addressed. He can also do 2 years in community college before transferring to a 4-year. That's additional time to build the funds back up. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Most of these, am I the asshole for spending my kid's college fund, things is a huge you are the asshole, but you need surgery, that is more important in my opinion. Tell your kid that if they care about you, then a bit less money for college is nothing compared to your health.
This is the most American post I've ever seen on here.
Nah. You set aside money with one intention, but you now need it for another use. As long as it's your money, e.g. neither son nor others have contributed to it, I don't see a problem.
Not the asshole as long as it's your money and not any money the teen may have put away from, say, a part-time job etc. Look, I paid my own way through college and it made me stronger. You only have one life. Maybe you and your kid read debt-free degree together to figure out other means of paying for college beside taking on debt like student loans. He's going to have to make an effort for scholarships and such. It's not like you're trying to take the money for like a new car or something frivolous. You are not the asshole. Parents are not necessary to pay for college, university. I have one son who worked the entire time graduating with $10,000 in debt. The other worked the entire time but lived it up buying everything he wanted. He has a lot of debt but went to less expensive schools. My last son has worked constantly and earns so much money in the summer he's comfortable.
Ooh, tough, but you have a medical need. So not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Definitely have the surgery, but inform your son about it. It's more than doable to work during college, and with him and you continuing to contribute, he should have enough or at least not as much in loans. Not the asshole. It's unfortunate that you have to take money out of the uni fund, but you're a low-income household and the money is for a necessary thing.
Not the asshole. Most low-income households qualify for financial aid. I did. It's still stressful making the right decision because you feel bad about it, but I'm pretty sure your kid will be able to get financial aid. Make sure he applies for his FAFSA. A lot of people at my school qualified.
This whole situation sucks. If you're low income, can you apply for or get aid for your surgery?
Not the asshole. It's still your money and you need it for your medical well-being. That trumps getting college paid for. There are still scholarships he can apply for, he'll just have to work harder to do well.
No assholes here. You should get the surgery and then keep doing everything you can to help your son as much as possible. After the surgery, keep contributing towards the account, co-sign student loans if needed, help him apply for scholarships. Maybe you even contribute a little but each month towards paying off any loans he does have to take out. Having a parent with chronic pain would also impact his life, particularly as he gets older. Unfortunately, this is a no-win situation, but you need to have the surgery. So have it, and then do everything within your means to help your son.
Not the asshole. This isn't for selfish reasons, it's important for your health. You could ask your son to get a job and you can both contribute for the next 2 years to get it back to where it was.
Man, I can't make a judgment. It's fucked on how bad the healthcare system is in America. Not the asshole. Health is most important.
This is so sad. There is only one country where a parent would ever have to make a choice like this. And that is the United States of America. Americans, sort your shit out, so that parents don't have to make this decision. Get some universal healthcare system going. It's 2020 and this is ridiculous. Mom or dad, I'm sorry you have to make this decision. America, you are the asshole. Nah. Saving money for your son's college is noble, but like with all budgeting goals, life happens and unexpected expenses can derail plans. Your son isn't an asshole here because student loan debt is a very real concern for him and his future. You're not an asshole either for wanting to spend money you saved to prevent a lifetime of pain.
Not the asshole. Get the surgery. He can get student loans like the rest of us. Also, I know he's young, but even at his age I would have understood how important back surgery is and would have never asked my mother not to get it just so I didn't have to take out loans.
Not the asshole. If this was me I would have begged my parent to use that money for their surgery. It's not some casual thing, it's for your health. Except for covering train costs to come back home to see my parents, I paid for everything during college, I worked part-time and still came out with a good grade. Not sure how different it is in the USA, but here in the UK college is expensive, but I managed. Just my 2 cents anyways.
As someone that didn't get to have mom and dad pay for college, I'd say go for it. I got my degree by joining the military and getting the GI Bill. My education is on me. It's nice if your parent can help, but if my mom needed the money for her health, I'd tell her to go for it. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Do the surgery and tell him to get a part-time job and save some money himself.
I say not the asshole, but more leading to no assholes here. I mean, as it's your money you saved up and you did say you still have some money left. I know it won't be enough to pay for college, but you can still save up money afterwards. Your son maybe can start helping, like taking a part-time job. Do well in school. There are things like scholarships, grants and financial aid, and a loan with a couple thousand, I think, won't be a problem. Maybe this is a perfect time to teach your son about money and responsibilities, other things like that, so maybe he can manage his own money someday. I heard learning these types of things can really be a benefit later in life. Maybe your son, no pressure, will start thinking about doing well in school on his own.
Nah. This is tough situation, but parents' medical issue overpowers college. If you are healthy, you will be able to work and add to the fund. He also old enough to start part-time job after school to add savings.
Not the asshole. I'm about to go into college, and TBH I don't have a college fund. But if I did, I would happily let my mom use it so that she wouldn't be in pain.
You Americans need to stop having college funds and start having savings accounts. Seems to me that as soon as you start a college fund you have a kid who thinks it's their money. Also, no assholes here except for your health system and education system. Not the asshole. Use the money for your health. Having a college fund is wonderful if your parents can afford it. The fact that he prioritizes his lack of debt over your health is kind of messed up. He can do what many of us did, work through school, start at community college, and get loans. I did all 3 to get me through grad school and am super close to being student loan debt free. And of course, the US healthcare system is the biggest asshole that you have to even worry about this to begin with.
Not the asshole. You need this surgery and there are other options for your son to fund his college. For him to not see this shows his immaturity.
Not the asshole. If you don't have this surgery, then your family as a whole gets to suffer further down the line as your ability to keep working and provide for them is impacted. This is an immediate loss to prevent greater losses down the line.
Not the asshole. Echoing other people's opinions that the healthcare system is. If you really do make so little money, it's time to start researching scholarships and grants now. Some are need-based, some are merit, but there's a bunch out there for all sorts of things. Some states offer full scholarships for their state schools.
Not the asshole. If I were in your son's shoes, I would definitely want the money to go toward your surgery. That being said, kids are usually selfish assholes, and he probably doesn't understand how much you need this and how uncomfortable you are, how much pain you will be in without it. My 16-year-old self wouldn't understand, but I'm 33 now and much more empathic.
Not the asshole. Also, to save you some money, it is cheaper to fly out to Canada or Mexico to get treated. Both countries have excellent doctors. Not the asshole. Get the surgery. You already said it yourself. Your family is on a lower income. You've already made ends meet while saving up at least a little money for him to go to college. That's significant other much more than most parents. You're a great parent. Tell him he should go to college, do well, and have a good job coming out if he doesn't like the implications of being low income. Maybe he should spend the next few years studying for CLEPs, taking AP classes, and boosting his GPA if he already isn't. He will be fine. You being in permanent pain is not fine.
I am so sorry about the position the United States healthcare system has put you in. Just to clarify, you are not the asshole in any way. Though I obviously don't know much about your family, I'd assume your child would want a healthy, happy mother around.
Ugh, yay American healthcare system. Honestly, if you could ever learn to be decent human beings and not prey on the weak and diseased for all of their money to the point where they are financially crippled. Not the asshole. This sucks. Glad I live in a country where I will never have to make such a decision.
Nah. Besides your healthcare system, maybe try and do a GoFundMe on Facebook.
Nah. Other than the systems in place in the US. Normally I think it's shitty to take away from a college fund. However, I think it's more important to stay healthy, especially if you are low income, because the longer you wait, the more expensive it will get because you will have caused more damage to your back.
Well, you're not the asshole for making this decision. Your son is going to resent you for sure.
Not the asshole in this case, although an honorary the asshole definitely goes to the U.S. healthcare and educational system. This isn't an, I'm using my kids' college money to renovate my house, situation. Having this surgery or not having it could potentially impact your productivity and ability to work in the future, which would have an even bigger negative impact on your family's financial future. In this case, your son is aware of the situation and he won't be surprised when the time comes to start paying for college. He has at least 2 years to make a plan. Getting a part-time job now, applying for every scholarship under the sun, planning to start at a community college, choosing a less expensive university closer to home are all completely viable options here. Also, coming from a lower-income family can actually be an advantage in this case because he'll be more likely to qualify for need-based aid. It's not ideal, but this is something that can be managed. Not the asshole if you're upfront and honest with your son about it. He may be mad about it, but them's the breaks while living in the US if it helps. Last I recall, it can actually hurt your financial aid package to have money saved up. They'll count it all as income and give you less financial aid than it sounds like you should receive with your income level.
Not the asshole. You need the money for surgery. He can take out loans. However, you need to get the family on board with cutting spending so you can replenish your savings. Nah. But as a person who works in financial aid for a U.S. university, if you are lower income, your son will receive more Pell free money along with access to loans. Your health is more important. Please put your health first. Have him go to a community college for the first 2 years, it is a lot cheaper.
Not the asshole. Medical expenses happen. If it's a 529, well, that sucks.